This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This is your boy Black Magus, back with another commentary about life, and I want to talk to you guys about the noise. So what do I mean by the noise? The noise that goes on side of my head, and I think we all have that similar type of noise, some of us more than others. Sometimes you just can't quiet your brain. You can't stop it from thinking, from moving, from talking to you, however you want to frame it. This came up because a friend of mine was talking about how they couldn't get their brain to stop, and I suggested to them that they go ahead and do a video blog. They started doing video blogs, and I encourage them to keep doing it, especially when the noise is in their head, because a lot of times when I do these videos, it's because there's a lot of noise in my head and I need to get it out. When I don't, it gets very, very hard for me to sleep, for me to concentrate on anything, for me to be able to do anything. And to just talk about it on these videos and just to express myself in some way, be it specifically about something or just talk about something that like an idea that comes to my head for a commentary, and just go ahead and do it. Like, that's hit there, try to think of an idea to escape from the stuff that's really bothering me sometimes. And then sometimes I tell you guys about it, all to quiet myself and calm myself down, because I feel like expressing yourself or like indulging yourself in something artistic, however, just finding an outlet, like releasing it, let loose the noise, let the noise out of your mind and out into the world. That way you can kind of purge it and move on. I feel like I've heard this about people who do creative things too. It's like, one of the things about a lot of creative people is that their minds are constantly moving. They can't stop thinking. They're always overloaded with thoughts. And you find that a lot of the greatest artists and entertainers have issues that is involved in this noise. And I think that's very, very true, because you look at some of the most famous people, like Richard Pryor being one of the most famous comedians of all time. He had drug issues. He had family problems. He grew up in in a strange environment with drug dealers and prostitutes, and he had a interesting life, and he's had a lot of things to deal with. But his comedy was so on point. And part of the comedy, especially when he started to kind of peak, was when he was just talking about the things that he went through and things like that. I think it's the same thing. It's probably true of poets as well. You see artists, they express a lot of their anger, their pain, their frustrations, their joy, what have you, their emotions. They put it on canvas or on paper or wherever they draw. People who draw, they put it into their writers. Put their thoughts into and not just poets, but people who write books and things like that. They put them into their stories. They convey a lot of the stories of their lives. They put it with their characters. They reflect it in them. Or they escape to a fantasy world and go someplace else, something fictional that's not like real life, and leave real life to where it is, so they can find the peace in this fantasy world. There's all sorts of ways. For me, Drunken Old Man Rants is the escape part. And then my personal vlogs and these commentary about life, so me connecting with issues and things like that, and putting my opinions out there about those, showing you guys a piece of my psyche and how I feel. things like that. So, and I'm not necessarily putting myself on the level of a high-end artist, but I think anybody who indulges in art does it, and it works quite well for them. And we've seen with higher-end artists and creators that it can be a lucrative thing. It's weird how people love to take a peek at your soul, so to speak, be it knowingly or unknowingly when it comes to entertainment. I mean, sometimes you just need to do that, though. You need to blog, you need to talk, you need to just express yourself, write it out. Sometimes that's what tweets are for me when I do my random thoughts and things like that. It helps to just express yourself and let the noise loose. It's an interesting thing because you don't really think about it, but just really think back to sometimes where you couldn't sleep because you say you had a lot on your mind. Just think about how it flows through your mind, how deafening it is inside of you. And sometimes you just need to find something, find that tool to let the noise loose and let yourself kind of relax a bit. It's very, very beneficial. But yeah, I was glad I was able to encourage them to do that. Seemed to help. They got stuff off their chest, and that's what we need to do. It's like we keep so much in and we suffer through a lot that the noise just overpowers us, and it helps not to let that let it overwhelm you. It's hard, I know, but you can't always let that shit overwhelm you. So find your release for the noise. Find a place to scream at the top of your lungs, so to speak, mentally. But anyway, as always, feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll hit you later. It's your boy Black Makers, and I'm out. Deuces.